Okay, my SSCLA kiddos, we are going to learn about our vocabulary station and what we do on the first day that we are there. Remember, you have the full class here at this station, so you have a full 30 to 35 minutes here to work on these things. Okay, so the very first thing we need to do is make sure that we have checked the word waffle for ourselves. The word waffle tells Miss Velios whether or not you know a word. Okay, as we study our words, you're going to figure out what they mean. But Miss Velios wants to know, at a first glance, the first time you see a word, do you know what it means? So, if you are in my second period SSCLA, you are going to be using the second period SSCLA word waffle. Okay, if you are in my fifth period SSCLA, you are going to be using my fifth period SSCLA word waffle down below the calendar. And if you are in my seventh period SSCLA, you are going to use my seventh period SSCLA word waffle down below our objective board. So please make sure that you are looking at the right SSCLA word waffle. This time, our words are the same, but there are going to be times where our words are very, very different. So you want to make sure that you are looking at the right word waffle for your class. Okay. Now, I've not put up our words yet, so let's use the 3-4 ELA word waffle as an example. Say you are in my 3-4 ELA class and you show up and you see the word waffle is full of words, just like yours will be. And you see a word in this quadrant that you don't know, then you need to move that word backwards to one of the other quadrants. Okay? This is quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if you don't know a word and it's in that fourth quadrant, you need to move it back to 3, 2, or 1. Okay? So say Miss Velios sees the word hairbrush. She doesn't know what that word means. So I need to move it backwards. Okay? So, another rule is, say somebody has moved a word backwards, you cannot take a word and move it forwards. So if a word is in quadrant 2, you cannot move it to quadrant 3 or quadrant 4. Okay? You have to leave it in 2. But if you think that it needs to go even further back, you can do so. So let's see how we know which quadrant words belong in. And the way you figure that out is by looking up at this quadrant poster up above. Okay, it's right up above our heads in the ELA vocabulary station. Okay. Now, since it's way up in the air and I don't want to hold my computer up there the whole time, I'll point to it, so it's right up here. Okay. The yellow part of the poster represents the first quadrant. Yellow, first quadrant. You can move a word back to this quadrant if you have no idea what that word is and you've never heard it before. Okay? So this is where you put words that you have never heard before. You have no idea what they are. Okay? The second quadrant is the orange quadrant. Orange is number 2. And that is where you put words that you've heard, but you have no idea how to use them, and you could not tell anybody what it means. So you maybe have heard it, but you have no idea what that word means. Okay? The green represents the third quadrant. Green, 3. And the green quadrant is for words that you think you could use, but you're not 100% sure. So you think you could use them, but you're not 100% sure. Okay? And the fourth quadrant, pink. Fourth quadrant is the pink. Those are the words that you know. You know how to use them. You know what they mean. You would be willing to take a test on them right now because you know everything about that word. Okay, so 1, you don't know the word at all. Yellow. 2, you maybe have heard it, but you really don't know what it means. 2, orange. 3, green. You think you know it, but you're not 100% sure. And 4 is pink, and that is, I know this word 100%. So everybody's going to be moving these words around as they get back to the station. Please remember that if somebody decides that they don't know that word, you cannot move something forward from the first quadrant to the second quadrant, the third quadrant, or the fourth quadrant. Once it's been moved back, it stays back. Okay? But if you see something that is in a fourth quadrant or a third quadrant or a second quadrant that needs to be moved back, you can do that. Okay? So you can move words forwards, but you cannot move words backwards. Okay? So make sure if it's in 4, it can move back to 3 or 2 or 1. If it's in 2, it can move back. If it's in 3, it can move back to 2 or 1. If it's in 2, it can move back to 1. But nothing can move forward. So 1 can't move to 2, 2 can't move to 3, 3 can't move to 4. So make sure it's always, if it needs to go backwards, backwards, but never forwards. That way Ms. Velios knows if there's somebody here in our classroom who just doesn't know one of the words. It's a good way for me to tell what's going on. Okay, so go ahead and start looking at your word waffle. And to start, my first group will have all of the words in this quadrant. So it's up to them whether or not they want to keep them there because they know them, or if they want to move them back to quadrant 3, 2, or 1. If you get to this quadrant and there's already words all moved around because you came on the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, or 6th day, remember, you can move them backwards but not forwards. So go ahead and take a look at your class's word waffle and see if there's any words that you know or you don't know that need to move backwards. Okay? Again, make sure that if you are in my 2nd period SSCLA, you are using the word waffle next to the window. Okay? If you are in my 5th period SSCLA, you are using the word waffle down here below my calendar. And if you are in my 7th period SSCLA, you are using the word waffle down below my objective board. Go ahead and take a moment, hit pause, and look at the word waffle. Really try to decide if that word needs to be moved back because we're not totally sure about it. Okay, if you are back with me, we are traveling back to my resources at my desk, and we are going to start putting together our word exploration, our vocabulary exploration. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, Miss Velios will have given you some vocabulary exploration pages. For this study, you will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Okay, these should be in your writing notebook. Okay, and at the very top of that vocabulary exploration page, it says, what is a noun? What is a noun? And if you looked at my paper, you saw that a noun is a person, a place, or a thing. A noun is a person, a place, or a thing. So I'm a noun. Holt Middle School is a noun because it's a place. And this is my cell phone. It's a thing. Okay? The first word that we are going to look at today is action. Action. As we read these words, I really want you to pay attention to the similar short A sound that you hear in each word. So let me read through these words very quickly. And I want you to really pay attention to the similar short A sound that you hear. Action, artist, art, arm, award, address, ant, animal, alarm, apple, afternoon, ad. What A sound did you hear? Action, artist, art, arm, award, address. Ah, ah. Please make that sound with me. Ah. That is the short A sound that we are studying in this unit. So again, our first word is action. Action. Okay, and action is the doing of something or the events that make up a story. The doing of something, the events that make up a story. Is action a person, a place, or a thing? Let's think about that. Is action a person? No. Is action a place? No. Action must be a thing. So please circle thing on your person, place, or thing box. Also, make sure you've written in the definition in your definition box. And the next thing Ms. Valios is going to ask you to do is draw a picture of action. So, for my picture of action, I drew somebody playing basketball. What could you draw for action? I could think of a few things that are action-packed, like a soccer game, or the pack area when you guys are opening and closing your lockers and bustling around to your classes, or a classroom, or even a movie set where they say things like lights, camera, action. Okay, so that's action. Our next word is artist. Artist. An artist is a person who is good at painting, music, writing, or another art or craft. Artist. Miss Yoon is an artist. What about Miss Scheller? Miss Scheller is an artist. She's good with music. Miss Valios can write, so I guess I'm an artist too. Okay. So let's think about that. Is an artist a person, a place, or a thing? Miss Yoon, Miss Scheller, Miss Valios. I think artist is a person. Okay, take a moment and hit pause, and I want you to draw a picture of what you think of when you think of an artist. I can think of a couple things that remind me of an artist. Okay, the next word is art. Art. Okay. Art is something made in a creative way to be beautiful or to show a feeling or idea. Ooh. So art is something that's beautiful and it's made in a creative way. You could say that an artist can make art. Make sense? Okay. So if it's something made in a creative way to be shown, to be beautiful, or to show a feeling or idea, is art a person? No. Is it a place? No. I think it's a thing. Yes. Take a moment to draw a picture that represents art to you. I can think of a couple things that I think of when the word art pops into my head. Okay, so now we should have action, artist, art. You should have the definitions, person, place, or thing, and pictures for all three of those items. The next word on our list, our fourth word, is arm. Arm. I wonder what an arm is. Arm. So an arm is a limb attached to the shoulder. A limb attached to the shoulder. So this thing right here. My arm. So if this is an arm, is it a person? Well, it's part of a person, but it's not an actual person, okay? Is it a place? Well, it's a place on my body, but it's not like a location, like a school or a church or a house. So an arm is a thing. An arm is a thing. Please circle thing. Okay. And please take a moment and hit pause and draw your whatever reminds you of an arm. I wonder what we're going to draw. Okay. Okay, on this next section, I want you to practice using the dictionary just a little bit. So our next word, and it's our fifth word, is award. Award. Okay, please hit pause and take a moment to look in the dictionary for the word award. Look for the word award. See if you can find it. And when you found it, come and check with me and see if your definition is correct by hitting play and checking with me. Okay, and if you said that an award is a certificate or prize that honors an achievement, so a certificate or a prize that honors an achievement, it says how good you did with something, you were right. And do you think an award is a person? No? Place? Or thing? If you said thing, you are right. Good job. Award is a thing. Draw a picture that reminds you of award. Award. Okay, our next word is address. Address. Please take a moment to look it up in the dictionary, see if you can find it, and then come back, hit play, and check with me to see if you got it right. Address. If you said address is the details about the location of a place, you are correct. It's the details about the location of a place. Then that means you are right. Okay. And is an address a person, a place, or a thing? Now remember, we're not talking about the actual house at the address. We're not talking about the actual thing that is at that address, that place that is at that address. So address is actually a thing. But if you circled place, I would take that answer as well. But address is actually a thing. The next word on our list is ant. Ant is the next word. Look in your dictionary and see if you can find the word ant. Then I want you to come back, hit play, and check with me to see if you got your definition right. Okay, so an ant is a small insect that lives in a colony. An ant. So they are a small insect that lives in a colony. I bet you've heard that word before. So is an ant a person, a place, or a thing? What do you think? If you said thing, you are right. An ant is a thing. Please draw a picture that reminds you of an ant. When you're ready, you may play and move on. Okay, our next word is animal. Animal. Please look in your dictionary to see if you can find the word animal. Okay, come back and hit play and check with me when you found it. Okay, if you said an animal is a living thing that can move from place to place, that eats plants, other animals, or both, You're right. It's a living thing that can move from place to place, that eats plants, other animals, or both. Now, the definition actually said that it's a living thing. So we know that our animal is a thing. Okay, draw a picture that reminds you of an animal. You may hit play when you're ready to continue on. Okay, our next word is alarm. Alarm. And an alarm, go ahead and look in your dictionary for the word alarm. You can come back and hit play when you found it. Check with me to see if you've gotten the right the dictionary definition. Okay, an alarm is something that I don't enjoy in the morning sometimes. It's a device that uses a bell, siren, or other loud noise as a warning or signal. We use them to wake up a lot. A device that uses a bell, siren, or other loud noise as a warning or signal. Okay, so is an alarm a person? No. Is it a place? If you said thing, you are right. An alarm is a thing. It can be kind of an annoying thing at times, huh? Okay, the last 3 words on our list, I am going to let you do all on your own. So I will give those words to you, and after I give you those words, I want you to write them into their boxes, look them up for the definition, decide if they're a person, place, or thing, and draw your reminder picture. Okay, our last 3 words are apple, afternoon, and add. So the last 3 words are apple, afternoon, and add. Okay, Miss Velios will check your notebooks to see if they are correct. So make sure you get those finished, and Miss Velios will let you know how you did. Thank you so much for doing such a good job at your vocabulary station your first time around. Congratulations. You have finished your first vocabulary station. All right.